Hello, I'm Lindor, Auszubildender Fachinformatiker für Anwendungsentwicklung in Germany, which means I'm learning programmer. And for about 10 years, I have been a modder and game designer in all kinds of different computer games and computer game genres, like Factorio, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, and Sacred 2, my all-time favorite game. But today, I'm going to show you how this is working. I'm going to create some smaller mods for Sacred 2 and you can watch me live. You can observe it and maybe one day you will be able to do the same. Now, before we start, one word for our German audience. Hallo, es tut mir leid, ich habe lange darüber nachgedacht, ob ich das Ganze in Deutsch oder Englisch machen möchte und es tut mir leid für diejenigen, die jetzt ein deutsches Video erwartet haben. Aber ich glaube, in Englisch erreiche ich einfach mehr Leute und die Sacred 2 Modding Community benötigt dringend Zuwachs. Ich würde mir wünschen, dass wir mehr Modder bekommen, mehr Menschen, die sich für das alle interessieren und denen das Ganze Spaß macht. Und ich glaube, Englisch ist dafür besser geeignet. Deshalb habe ich mich für Englisch entschieden. Okay, let's get started. As a modder, about 80% of the work you're doing is reverse engineering. It requires a lot of time, effort and passion and love to find out what the game is doing, how everything's working in the background and to develop tools to make modding even possible. And only about 20% of the time you're gonna actually work at the game's code. We're going to concentrate on these 20% today, not because I think they're more important, but because they're easier to showcase. Because in these 20% of the time, you're going to actually use those special skills and special knowledge which you build in the other 80% of the time. But try to keep in mind that reverse engineering is the main work you're doing here. And I find it way more impressive than actually building and writing mods. Okay, what are we going to do today? We are going to create 2 new boss enemies and we are going to redesign a character class. Let's get started. Okay, now today I think I'm the only active modder in the Sacred 2 modding community who knows each and every corner of the game. There are 2 other modders who are specialized in certain areas, namely texturing and Lua scripts. But time of the big modders is kinda gone. But that hasn't always been the case. At the time I started modding, there were 2 guys who greatly helped me at becoming good at modding, Dmitriy and Flix. Now, Dmitriy is an absolute genius in coding and modeling. He reads and writes the raw assembly code of the game, which is like really impressive because the source code of the game has been lost years ago. And Flix, he is like really productive. There were times we were asking whether he sleeps at all because he's like so productive. But nowadays he has retired from modding. He wants to take a break and honestly, it's a well-deserved break. Now, why am I telling you this? In Sacred 1, there is a cave where certain names from the official forums have been granted by the publisher of the game before he went insolvent, have been immortalized as boss monsters. And I think that's such a cool idea to bring the gamers into the game itself. Today I want to do the same for those 2 guys because I think they deserve it. I want to create 2 boss monsters, one for Dmitry and one for Flix, and bring them into the game. I want to immortalize those 2 because they deserve it. Okay. Now in the beginning, you're usually doing some sort of concept art of what you want to create if you want to bring a new boss enemy into the game. Now, I already have an image, an imagination of what I want to achieve, and I also have an idea of how to achieve that. Sacred 2 is using the Granny 2 format for meshes. Now, I could talk days about this format. It's a really complicated topic, but to keep it short and simple, Importing Granny 2 into open source software like Blender has been solved. It is possible, but exporting it back into the Granny 2 format is not possible. It maybe will be possible in the future, but today it's not possible. So we have to get creative. We are going to use a model that's already existing in the game, and we're going to alter it only using textures. First of all, let's take a look at what I want to do. Now, you see Flix uses a pumpkin as a profile image. Now, what I want to do is using a model of a certain boss monster, namely this boss monster right here. I want to use this round part of the model and make it a pumpkin, a floating pumpkin. And to achieve this, we first have to find the model. Now, Sacred 2's pack folder, which holds all the data, looks like this. You have certain zip files, and into the zip files there are folders or folders upon folders where someday you're going to find what you were looking for. We are going to use this, which is a full inventory scan, a full directory scan, which I created by using some code which I have written myself. And this is what I mean with reverse engineering. This is already where it starts. We could not start modeling if we wouldn't have this directory scan. Okay, now to find the name of the model we are looking for, we are going to go into the scripts and look into a file called creatures.txt. Creature info, no, that's not what I'm looking for. Client, no, it's the server. Yeah. So we are looking for some sort of Abishai. Okay. I want master I boss. Oh, that's looking great. NPC master I boss. Yeah. He's using item type ID 12104. Now we are going to look into itemtype.txt. Shared itemtype.txt. Please make it Lua. Thanks. Okay. Now we have the full path to the model. Name equals models NPC monsters master I blah blah blah. Okay. Copy and paste this and look here. And we want to have the latest file, because that's what Sacred 2 is using. Graphic 12. Now, to get the model, we are gonna take a look into my modding folder. Where I have all the pack files unpacked. Now we're going to take a look at graphics 12 models. Please open. Okay. NPC monsters master I. And that's the main model we are looking for. Now, how to get this into Blender? We first have to convert it into a format which can be imported into Blender. Now I have written 2 batch scripts, which are not very long, it's pretty easy, which take advantage of tools that have been written by other people who are smarter than me, which will convert this into other file formats. Okay. Now we have the FBX format, the object format, and the SMD format. Now the FBX format you see right here cannot be imported into Blender as is because that's ASCII FBX. You can actually open it with Notepad, and you see it's all ASCII characters. You can read it, you can see how the format is structured. Now, to get it to load into Blender, we need to convert it into binary FBX. We can do this with that software right here. We're gonna import it here, and yep, that's fine. And please convert. Convert. Perfect. And no, there we go. 20. No, I don't want 2010. I want 2013. I was a bit sloppy here. 2013. Okay, that should have been the default. I have absolutely no idea why it converted it into 2010, but glad I noticed. So let's start Blender. Okay, now that Blender has started, we want to import it into Blender. So don't need to stuff here. Now we have available SMD, FBX, and object. Now SMD and FBX both only contain information about bones and animations, not about the mesh itself, which we don't need. We need a mesh. Now those formats can also hold more information, but for sake of 2, it only holds information about the bones. So let's import the object. There we have it. That's the mesh we were looking for. Now, what we want to do is we want to texture paint directly at the model. Okay, let's go into the UV editing area. Now, so let's import our texture we found. Now we have D, N, and SG. D is the standard diffuse map. Diffuse map means it's just the color of the model we're gonna see in game. SG is information about the glow. It's a glow map, and N is a normal map. Now we're gonna come back to this later. Right now we only care about diffuse map. And the object format does contain information about UV mapping. Ta-da! Now we see something isn't quite right here. That's because when converting from GR2 to object, the model gets turned upside down and with UV maps. And in Blender, it's kind of a pain to mirror UV maps. So we're going to leave it as is. And it's not a big deal because we can create our texture right here and later mirror it with third-party software. Okay. So right now, if we try to paint on this, I'm going to show you, nothing will happen because there's no link. You see missing materials, textures, or linked detected. So we first need to create a link or create a new texture. And we don't want to use the old texture, we want our new one. So we are going to create a new one. It should be empty, it should be white. And there we have it. Now we're gonna need to load it into the UV editing area, and actually I'm gonna switch to texture paint, and we are gonna load don't like that. We are gonna load what we just created. Okay. Now we don't care about all this bone stuff. We only care about the central part, about the eye, about ball, because that is what will become our pumpkin. So let's do some. Yeah, that's great. That is good. Have been kind of sloppy here. Don't be sloppy. Okay. Don't be sloppy. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Forgot something. Yep, that looks good. Okay, now what we're going to do, let's take a look at a pumpkin, and should spell it correctly. And we're going to see we want some sort of natural thing. We want it a little bit rough, a little bit bumpy, and we want these right here, these little strips from top to bottom. And what we want as well is like this trunk. Now, as we said, to create the texture, we're going to mainly use third-party software, namely GIMP. This right here is just to get some basic overview of where exactly the parts are. Now, let's make a small radius, and black. Yeah, black is good. And because the model is exactly centered at the x-axis right here, we have a center point, and we don't have the model. Oh, should select the correct color. Yeah. And we have. Okay, what's going on? Okay, it was some sort of weird bug, I hope. This right here will be our center point, and we're gonna create some. That's too big for me. Let's change it to 1. Yeah. Something like that. It doesn't need to be perfect or symmetrical, because this will be some sort of natural build. But I don't want it, as I want it to at least be connected. But it doesn't have to be perfect. We're gonna beautify it later. Don't worry. Don't worry. I know it looks ugly. Don't worry. Okay. Now it's kind of hard to be drawing in there. I don't want to do that. Let's take a guess. It will probably be something like that. And does that look good? Well, it's not the same thickness, but it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. Yeah. Let's save our image. We're gonna export it as bitmap because that's best when we don't want to lose anything via compression. And we're gonna go at build at image, and we're gonna save as, and we're gonna save as pumpkin diffuse basic, but we want a bitmap. Yeah. Let's take a look. Pretty ugly, isn't it? And believe it or not, but that is everything we are going to do with Blender. That's everything we needed Blender for. So we are going to close this. We don't need to save it. And start editing the image with GIMP. Yeah, there it is. Okay, now that we have our basic image, we are gonna edit it in GIMP. We are gonna make it more beautiful. Now, this is not a GIMP tutorial. I'm not gonna teach you how to use the software. So I'm gonna fast forward and we'll see. Enjoy the show. Then we can close GIMP. We don't need it anymore. We have our textures. And we'll see how it looks in game. So now let's start by creating an actual mod. Right now we have everything into the model conversion folder, but of course that's not going to load into the game, so we need to create our own mod folder. Let's go to the game files and mods, and we are going to create a mod called pumpkin boss. We're going to create a new folder called pack and a new folder called HQ, a new folder called boss textures, and we're going to drag and drop our textures. We have normal map, we have diffuse map and glow map. Great. Now let's create the actual boss in the game files. For that we need the scripts, Lua scripts. Actually we're gonna need client server chat. I'm gonna open the scripts and so what are we needing? We need server. Do we need anything? Yeah, we need server creatures.txt, server creatures.txt. We need server quest.txt. We need shared itemtype.txt. We need shared spells.txt. And client, yep, we need service.txt. Okay, let's open everything in Notepad or Notepad++. Great. Now, to not get confused, we're going to close the Sacred2 standard text files. Mods. Great. Now let's set language to Lua everywhere. Okay, now first of all, let's start by creating a new item type. Yep, that was our model. We are going to create a new item type at the bottom, and We're gonna keep pretty much everything except we're gonna keep everything. No, we're not gonna keep everything. Surface. Now, let's take a look at surf.txt. This is the original surface of our original model. Now let's create a new surface called pumpkin boss, and we're gonna swap master I_h to pumpkin boss. Now in our new surface we are gonna need a surface flag mask. There are two surface flags which are capable of making things transparent in game. It's surface flag transparent and surface flag masked. Now we are gonna need surface flag masked and not surface flag transparent. Otherwise we are gonna be able to see through even the parts that should be visible. Okay. We need to switch the path of the maps we just created to our newly created textures. Boss monster boss textures / diffuse map. And don't worry of TGA or DDS. TGA and DDS are interchangeable. Don't worry about that. Now, gonna copy and paste. Low map and normal map. Great. Now we need to create a new creature entry. The item type in question was 1 to 105. So we're gonna switch to 1 to 105. Okay, it seems like 1 to 105 has not been used. Master I 1 to 104. Interesting. Oh, that's the equipment. Oh, I see. We are gonna copy and paste it. No, I want this not here, so what I want is at the bottom. Yeah. And we have ID 2752. So let's make ID 2753. Item type ID. Copy pasta. Name. Flix. Pumpkin boss. Okay. We want its T energy ID the same, but template creature ID can stay. Now where's equip set ID? We want to delete this. We don't want him to equip anything. Now, what about spells? We want to create a new entry, and we want to give him exactly one spell, and we are gonna define a new spell for this. Let's take a look at Temple Guardian. Not Temple Guardian, Summon. Oh, Tempelwächter. It's Tempelwächter at German. Yep, Tempelwächter. Temple Guardian. Do I really have to... What? Why didn't it find? Okay. That was quite a coincidence. But that's what we are looking for, the Temple Guardian skills. But why didn't it find... Hello? It should find you. Okay. I'm not complaining. We have it. And we want this spell right here. Yep. Now, I'm going to show you something. Temple Guardian has a cool spell which is a stream of fire, basically. And I want our pumpkin to be a stream of fire breathing creature of death. Yeah, like that. Okay. I have no idea whether this is going to work or not, but let's try. We don't need any of that. The correct focus and law applied. Yep. Animation type, okay. I can live with that, because we don't vary with animations anyway, and I think we have our new spell. Great. Now... what was the original entry? Here. 2149. No, not search backwards, search forwards, please. Yep. 2149. And we have a new entry ID 2753. 2753. Let's keep that in mind. Yep. Creature blueprint relation. No, we don't have a blueprint ID here. Okay. That's everything we need in creatures.txt, everything we need in spells.txt. Now it's only a matter of actually getting the creature to spawn in game. Now I'm going to show you something. Okay, now we have a giant world map right here, and you can see the game is split into sectors. And actually, each sector is split again into 4 different quadrants. And to get the name of the quadrants, I have written a short script which will do exactly that. Now, we want our creature to spawn here because it's relatively close to the starting area, and I usually do this if I want to import new creatures and want to see how they look. Now, the sector in question is AR11. Now, let's take a look at sector.lua. That's my script, and we already see AR11. I already converted it, but I'm going to show you how it works. Lua runner, sector.lua, and we see 2129. 2129 is the northwestern corner of the 4 sectors it has, and northeastern is 2229, 2128 is southwest, and southeast is 2228. We want him to spawn in the southeastern region. So we're gonna take 2228. Now in quest.txt, where we can spawn a creature, we want to create a new spawn. Yeah, we want to create a new spawn. Okay, we do that by doing the following. Quest.create task creature exactly. That is the latest task creature that has been created. We're gonna go to the bottom of the file and create a new task creature. 11036. The item type in question is 13996. The creature ID in question is 2753. Faction ID is 27. Is mortal? Yes. Is fighting? Yes. Is persistent? Yes. Position. That is where it gets interesting. Now, the first 3 coordinates are x coordinate, y coordinate, z coordinate, and actually those are sector coordinates. So z is kind of the layer, like underground. 0 is just normally on the surface area. And now we're going to take our two entries from our script, plug it right in, and now it's going to spawn directly where we want it to. Now those three are orientation, like rotation. It's not that important in which orientation it spawns. And this right here is where exactly in the sector it spawns. And we're gonna do like 180, I think, something like that. We're gonna see in-game how that looks. And that is our mod. Now we have created, and now let's take a look at the results. We're gonna enable the mod. Yep. Pumpkin boss. Perfect. No, not perfect. I have done a critical mistake. I am not intelligent enough for this game. I am so sorry. Okay, now we can take a look at Jet's Yummy and enable Pumpkin Boss. Yeah, perfect. And let's start. I have made a little mistake. Those are not rotation. This is rotation, and those are position. Kind of obvious if you ask me X, Y, Z, and then rotation. I confused them. It happens. Well, I experimented a little bit, and those are the perfect stats for spawning him. It's like the perfect position. It's not that far from the starting area, but also not that closely. And yeah, let's take a look at him.